So once again, good evening. My name is Tony Emotosho, and I will be showing you how you can design very good landing pages, sales pages, opt-in pages, basically any type of web page using a WordPress plugin known as InstaBuilder. That is what we are going to be talking about this evening. So please pay full attention. And like I said earlier, this webinar is being recorded, so you can go through it over and over and over again after the webinar. Now, before let me just give you an intro to this InstaBuilder thing. Now, InstaBuilder is actually a plugin that you install on WordPress and you use it to basically design your website. Now, the good thing about InstaBuilder is that InstaBuilder already has a lot of pre-designed templates that you can just easily make use of and get your site up and ready very fast. Then another good thing about it is that it designs responsive web pages. What that means is that any web page you use this plugin to design is going to display very well on desktop, on a mobile phone, on an iPad, on an Android tab, and stuff like that. And another thing about this is you do not need to know how to write any HTML code or how to write any CSS to use it, basically. Of course, if you know CSS, it's going to help you better, but you don't really need to know how to do all of those things, and you can get fast results. What I mean by fast result is that you can actually get your site up and running within the next 1 hour. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to do all of that, but then this is very important. Before you even begin to use InstaBuilder to design any page, the very first thing you need to come into terms with is you need to answer what type of web page exactly do you want to create, because there are different web pages for different purposes. You can create sales pages, you can create opt-in pages, you can create survey pages, different web pages. So you need to actually ask yourself what type of web page exactly do you want to create. And for instance, let's say you want to create an opt-in page, then you actually need to have an idea of the type of the design of the opt-in page that you want to create. And this is where your swipe files come in handy. Your swipe file comes in handy. I believe I've actually given you guys series of swipe files that can be used for your designs. I gave you guys some marketing materials that you can actually go into. For instance, now let's say I want to design an opt-in page. Okay, I might actually come into this page and check out the type of layout that I want to use. Okay, I can actually use InstaBuilder to design any of these layouts, but then I need to figure out the layout I exactly want to work with before I get started. Okay, so that is the very first thing that you have to do. But then let's actually talk about some things that have to even take place before you can install InstaBuilder. I'm doing this for the just for people who are new to to this whole web design thing, putting a website online. That's why I'm doing this. The very first thing is you need to have a domain name. You need to have a domain name. A domain name must be ready, and you can register a domain name at either namecheap.com or you can register a domain name at gigalayer.com. Gigalayer.com is usually good for domain names like .com, .ng, .ng, and all these Nigerian type of domains. So if you come to this is Namecheap, okay, my account is logged in, but then you can go to Namecheap and basically register a domain from there. .com, .net, .org. So then the second thing will be for you to get web hosting for your domain. Now, for people who are beginners, if you are a beginner, I would always advise you to buy both your domain name and your web hosting together. Okay, buy both of them from the same person. The reason for this is that they will help you to connect your web hosting to your domain name. That was what I was doing in the beginning before I started understanding how you can connect it yourself. But as a beginner, just do it yourself. And you can actually get web hosting from GigaLayer, from Namecheap, from Bluehost, from HostGator, from Liquid Web. You can also register your domain name in all of these places and get your web hosting at the same time. Okay. Now, anytime you buy a domain name and web hosting and stuff like that, you are going to be given a cPanel login. That is what we call a cPanel login. The cPanel is the control panel. It is where you are going to be operating your website from. And most of the time, the cPanel login is usually located at a link like this: your domain name, the URL of your domain name / cPanel. That is where you will usually find your cPanel login. So the web hosting company that you are hosting your website with, they are going to give you a cPanel login and password. So now here I'm just basically going to try and log in. This is one of my websites that I created a long time ago that I haven't used basically. I'm going to be using this as an example as we go ahead with the training. Okay, so now here I'm just basically going to go to this is orekelewa.com/cpanel. So I guess I haven't been here before, so I'm just going to click on add exception, confirm security. So if you see something like that, you just add an exception and move on. So here is the cPanel login for this particular website. So I'm just going to enter the username and password for this. So that is going to take me to the cPanel proper. Okay, I believe you guys are following me. If you are following me, let me hear you type. Not let me hear you. Let me see your yes. Type in yes. Okay, thank you very much. So now basically here is a cPanel. Most cPanel layouts are going to look like this. So you have different things over here. You don't really need to understand how most of these things work, but the areas that would basically concern you are, for instance, this email part. If you want to create an email address that's going to come with this domain name, you can do that over here. Like for instance, if I should click on this email account, now this is not part of this webinar, but let me just show you this. So I can basically come here and create an email that says tony@orekelewa.com, put in a password over here, and then create accounts. So I can basically do something like that from here. But then, like I said, this is not the main purpose of this webinar. So basically what we want to do here, the reason why we are logged into this cPanel is we want to install WordPress on this domain, because without WordPress you can't use InstaBuilder. So we want to install WordPress. So now there are different ways of installing WordPress anyway. For instance, you can basically go and download the full WordPress package and upload it by yourself, but that would be a very long journey if you are trying to do that. So the best thing for you to do is just log into cPanel the way I did. Now scroll down and come to under where you have software like this. Under this section, you come in over here. This is like what I'm talking about. So you come over here, and what you do is you click on this quick install. Now, just so that you guys can know, on some web hosts you won't see quick install. Okay, on some web hosts you basically see something like you can see Softaculous. There's also something called Softaculous. You might see Softaculous over here. So at times you might see quick install. So, but these are just ways of installing different programs. So in case you don't see quick install on your own web hosting, you're going to see Softaculous over there. Okay, so quick install, whatever. So this is WordPress over here. You can see WordPress over here. So I will just click on WordPress. Then they say free option, do it yourself or pay. I would rather do it myself because it is very simple to do. So I will click on install WordPress over here. Now you can see what you have here. It says fill out the form below to get started with your install. Right now you choose the domain name. Like what I have here, it says orekelewa.com. Now if you want WordPress to be installed directly on orekelewa.com, you just leave it like this. You don't type anything here. But if you want the WordPress to be installed on something like maybe orekelewa.com/blog, then you can type in something here. But if you just want the WordPress to just be on orekelewa.com, not on a different folder, then you just leave it this way. But if you already have maybe some content on orekelewa.com already and you don't want to remove it, then that is when you can install the WordPress in a different folder. Okay, so you don't need more than one WordPress installation per domain name. You don't need more than that. You can install more than one on a domain name, but you don't really need more than one. So over here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be installing WordPress directly on this orekelewa.com. So I'll just leave it like this. Okay, so over here, this I'll have an admin email. So I will just put in my email in here. Then blog title, let's just say that is like what is going to show up over here, like at the top. The way you see domain only and all of these things at the top, what's going to show at the top when people browse to that particular website. So I can just say Orekelewa fashion tips. Okay, then admin user, this is going to be, I think, the username that you are going to be using to log in. So over here, let me just type in admin. You can put anything there. You can put anything you would like there. Then over here, first name, I can put in my name, and then last name, I can put in my last name. Then I can click on install WordPress. Okay, so this is just an advert. So I'm going to close that. Now at the top over here, you can see this bar saying your install is running. So that means this particular thing is installing WordPress, and all I have to do is sit back and wait for the installation to be complete. Okay, so once it is complete, you can see the details in here. So while WordPress is installing, okay, let's just move over to something else. So because basically WordPress is going to install and you're going to log in into WordPress. So what I'm going to do is, let me use another one of my, so that I won't be waiting for that. Okay, it's even complete now. So it says your install is complete. Click here to view your notifications. So I'll just come over here and click in here. You can see it says use the information below to log into your new install. So I will just copy all of this information. This is what you are going to need to log in into this our new WordPress stuff. So orekelewa.com/WP admin, I will just open that in a new tab. Then this is the username admin, then this is the password. So I'll just copy that. Okay, now. Oh, okay, don't worry. I think this particular, I don't know why that EU is coming up, but I think this kind of EU is from the web hosting company. I will have to get back to them. So, but don't worry, I'll just use another. I'm going to use this particular website. Let's just leave orekelewa.com for now. Like I said, I haven't used it before. I just bought it and packed it. So, Okay, let's use this. Now this is another domain name of mine, stepupdigest.com. So when you come to the login page, you're going to see something like this. So let me just open it over here, stepupdigest.com slash wp admin wp-admin, like this. So basically this is going to, you can see, this is going to take you to a page where you can log in into that WordPress that you have installed. So basically you type in your username or your email, and then you type in your password, and then you log in. So this is now the WordPress dashboard. Okay, this is not the control panel of your hosting. This is now the WordPress dashboard. This is where that WordPress that you installed, this is where you are going to be controlling everything from. So this is not a course on WordPress. Okay, this is not a course on how to use WordPress. This is just basically a course on how to use InstaBuilder to design your pages. The reason why I'm going through all of this is because you can know that InstaBuilder is going to be working from your WordPress platform. All right. So like I said, InstaBuilder is actually a plugin. InstaBuilder is a plugin. Now, how do you use that plugin? Well, if you look over here, I believe you guys can see my my cousin. If you look over here, you're going to see something called plugins. So this is where you can install any type of plugin in WordPress. So we're just going to go over here and click on Add New. Let me see what my outline is saying. Okay, register a domain name, get web hosting for your domain, install WordPress through cPanel, which we've done already, upload and install InstaBuilder plugin. So that is where we are right now. So over here, this is where you upload the plugin. So if you click on upload plugin here, you're going to see this browse button. Now, before this, you must have downloaded the WordPress plugin that I sent to you. I'm talking about the InstaBuilder plugin that I sent to you in zip file. You must have downloaded it somewhere on your computer. So what you just do here is you click on browse, you go to wherever you have that plugin on your system. In my own case, this is where I have it. This is the InstaBuilder plugin right here. So I'll just click on open, and then I will click on install now. I'll click on install now. Once I click on install now, this InstaBuilder plugin is going to install. But I'm not going to click on install now right now because I already have the InstaBuilder over here. But then when you click on install now, it is going to install, and then it will give you a link that says activate now. Then you basically click the activate now, and then once you do that, what you're going to see is that it is going to show up down here. It is going to show up down here. So once it shows up down here, the next thing you have to do will be to click on settings. You will click on settings. I actually wanted to use a new installation for you, but since that particular domain is not going now, so you click on settings. Now, normally for a new InstaBuilder activation, there will be a space at the top over here that says enter your PIN. That is like your license key. It will say enter your license key. Now that is the license key for the plugin that I sent to you. So you need to enter the license key and then click on save. So when you click on that, that is when it will now bring you, it will now give you this page, like this page you are seeing right now. It will now give you this page. Once that has been done, you can now begin to use the InstaBuilder. So I believe you know what I'm talking about when I say the InstaBuilder zip file that I sent to you, and I believe I also sent you the license key as well. Okay, let's move on. So once you now have InstaBuilder on your platform, the next thing you can now begin to do is you begin to create web pages from the InstaBuilder dashboard option. What do I mean by that? Well, this is InstaBuilder over here. You can see we have dashboard and settings. Dashboard and settings right here. right? So you click on dashboard. That's what I'm talking about. You click on dashboard. Now I already have, like I said, I already have InstaBuilder on this particular website. That is why you are seeing all of these stats. It is just showing me stats of people who have visited some of the pages that I used this for. But now, let's now say we now want to create a new page. What do we do? Well, let me, we click on new page. That is what we do. We click on new page over here. Now when you click on new page, this thing is going to come up. It will tell you choose a template. Now before we do that, we have this thing over here that says template type. In here, they have different type of templates for different type of designs that you want to do. We have sales pages, squeeze pages, launch pages, webinar pages, coming soon pages, and one that they say others. But then let's even click on sales pages. So these are various templates for sales pages, but then we also have subtype here because there are different type of sales pages. There are text-based sales pages. There are video-based sales pages. There are hybrid sales pages. Hybrid sales pages means the ones that combine both video and text, and that is what they call the OTO or the one-time offer sales pages. But then don't really matter. These are just templates. You can modify any of them to fit what you want to do. And like I said, you need to have an idea of exactly what you want to do before you start. Okay, so just for the purpose of this example right now, let's just pick one of these templates. Okay, let's just pick this. So you just basically go through this template and just use one to start with. Anyone that is closest to the type of design that you want to do, you just look for it and then you start with it. All right. So here is one over here. Here is one that I used recently. So I just come over here. You can click on preview if you want to see it, if you want to see the larger version of it. But here I'm just going to click on shoes. That means I actually want to use this. So I'll just click on shoes. Now let me go back to my outline and see what we are doing. So click on create a page. One, choose any of the available templates provided by InstaBuilder based on what you want to do, or start from scratch. Now there are times when you basically don't want to use any of the InstaBuilder templates and you want to start your own design from scratch, but I don't do that because this will have made the work very easy for me. So why would I start from scratch? So here is what we just loaded. So like you can see, this is basically a template that you now have to input, you now have to edit and put in your own content in. Now this one is for a sales page. And let me just tell you guys, if you look at this page, let me open up a page over here. This is actually the same page that that I used recently to create this. So edit the template to your taste, put in your content. Okay, all right. So look at this page and look at this, what we have here. So basically all I did was to just edit this to become this. Nice, right? So, and you too can do the same thing. There is no biggie with it. So basically what you do is this. Now this is a template. It means you can edit it. But even before we start talking about editing and all of that, there are some things you need to know that will help you to use InstaBuilder very well. And they are the tools. On the left hand side over here, these are the tools that help you to use InstaBuilder easily. And the way you use these tools is that you basically take them and drag them over here. So the first tool you see at the top here is what is called a section. Okay, a section is actually something big, like a huge amount of space. Like if I should drag this over here, okay, so that is like So I cannot edit this and do whatever it is that I want to do with it, and then I can delete it too as well. So this is a white section, okay? So it won't basically be on this, because this one on the background, the one you are seeing on the background, the one I just highlighted right now, is another white section. So a white section won't stay on another white section. So that is why it is not staying there. Then there is a white background box. Now over here, the people who designed this have already put up a white background box on the background of this page. That is like, if you drag this now and drag it over here, it is basically going to stay on the background. But like I said, it is already, you basically don't need to use this white background. You don't need to need it when you are making use of a template, unless you are building the page from scratch. That will be when you will be using this. Then apart from that, we also have this tool here called a title element. This is just like a big tool when you want to create like a big headline. So if I drag this in here now, you can see this thing that says this is your new title. Okay, if I want to edit this, I will just double click on it. You can see it is even highlighting itself. It is saying double click to edit. So I can double click on this now, and then I can highlight it. You can see this bar that is showing up right here. The bar is giving me different options. Okay, I can bold it, italics, underline, centralize, change the color of the text, okay, change the background color of the text, bullet list. If I want to hyperlink it to something, if I want to change the fonts, these are various fonts. Like let's say I want to use this funny font, okay, then I can change the font size too. All right, so these are various things you can do with that. So that is, I said this thing is very easy to use. Once you can use, if you can use Microsoft Word, you can use this thing to design very good pages. At the same time, when I'm through with it, I will just click outside of it. Okay. At the same time, I can delete it. You can see the delete button over here. This bin button, I can basically delete this. This one is for copy. If I want to duplicate it, like if I click on this one right here, it is going to duplicate it. Okay, that is the copy. So then if I want to delete, I will just click on delete. Are you sure you want to delete this element? Okay, delete. All right, so that is for the title element over here. Now this one is actually a text element. A text element is actually what you use to insert text into the body of the website. So like this one you are seeing right here, this one you are seeing right here, they are all, even this one, this particular title element is even a text element too, but this one is basically like being used for headlines. So I can, if I drag this in here now, for instance, again, you can see that I now have text in here. So the text is basically adjusting. It is on the background of this page. So I can double click in here too at the same time and highlight this text and do whatever it is that I want to do with it. Okay, so at the same time, if I want to delete it, I'll just click on it, click on delete. Okay, now if I want to insert an image, this is the button for inserting images. So I'll just drag this into where I want the image to be. So like right here, it now say click to upload or edit an image. So I can click on this, then click on this little wheel button over here. Then it will say upload, replace or upload the image. So I can click on this action button over here and click on upload image if I have the image on my computer. So it will give you this big pop-up box in here. So you can click on upload files, then I can click on select files, then I can go to my computer wherever I have the image that I want to use. Let's say I want to upload this image, or let me choose a different image. Okay, let's say I want to upload this image over here. Now just click on open, and it is going to upload that particular image. You can see it right here that the image has been uploaded, then and it has been selected. If it is not selected, then just select it all by yourself. Then if I want to use any of these other images that I already have, once you've uploaded an image once, you don't have to upload it again because it is already on your server. You just select it, and then I'll basically come over here and click on use image. Okay, now you can see the image here, right? So, but one other thing I can do is I can still do some stuffs with it. Over here you have image style. So I can basically click on this. If I want the image to have rounded edge, you can see the edges of the image now is now rounded. If I want the image to be in form of a circle, you can see now. So, or a thumbnail, like a small image. Okay, that's what I mean by thumbnail. So I can do all of that here. Then if I want to link this image to something so that people can actually click this image and it can go somewhere, I can come over here and choose URL. Then I can put the link where people are going to go once they click on the image. I can click on it, right? I can put that in here. If I don't want to link the image to anything, I'll just click on none. If I want the image to link to a pop-up, you do that here. So that is it. Then we also have top margin, bottom margin. Anywhere you see top margin or bottom margin, it is talking about the space after the image, the space after the image on the top, the space after the image on the bottom. So over here where we have 20, you can see that if I should move this thing, if I should move this to 118, you can see that this image this space has increased. So that is what they mean by bottom margin. So, or top margin, for instance, if I just move this, you see that you're going to see that the space over here is going to increase. So because you're going to keep seeing that thing, top margin, bottom margin, stuff like that. So if I want to animate the image, I'll just come over here, select any of these. You can do that on your own when you are trying it out. If I want to put a caption below the image, I will do that over here. Okay, so these are different things you can do. Then once you are through, you just hide that panel. So, and if you want to delete the image, if you want to centralize it, this is central. If you want to align it to the right, or to the left, you click on this. If you want to align it to the right, you click on this. If you want to delete it, you click on this and delete. Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me? Are you guys following me? If you can follow, if you are following me, let me hear you type yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's move on. The next tool, I'm going to be fast right now. The next tool we have over here is actually a video element. This is when you want to insert a video to your web page. So you just basically drag this in here. Okay. Then at the same time, these things all work the same way. You now click on it. Then when you click on it, you would click on this same edit button, the one that looks like a wheel. Then you can actually, edit anything you want to edit, video type, video to URL, all of these. Do that over there, and then you delete it if you want to delete it. Or so that is for video. Then there is this box element. If you want to create something like a little box, like, let me just show you how I use that on this page. So okay, on this page here is a box that I used. Here is another box. Okay, so you can basically use this box element. You just drag it. There is a box right there. So you can also edit this box to look like whatever you want it to look like. You just click on this tool button again. You have all of these things over here. Background color. If you want to change the background color of that table, you can see it is changing now. Okay, so then background image. If you want an image to be on the background instead of this color, you can basically choose an image. They even have background images for you in InstaBuilder. Like for instance, let me see where they have it. Here, pre-made pattern. Yeah. So These are all images. I can basically choose any of these. Let me choose this. You can see that it has changed. You can use any of these. Okay. So, and once I'm through with that, I can even come and even use some patterns too. Then background image position. These are different positions for the background for the image. And if you want the image to scroll or move or do anything like that, you can do all of that too. So then background video, that is if you want a video to be on the background of the table. Then borders, that is the border of the table. So you can increase the thickness. You can choose the color. You can give it a new color entirely. Okay. You can increase the thickness. You can see that the thickness here has increased. And then you can set up border individually. What it means is that you can give, if I just select this right here, I can actually use a different border. I can dictate what I want the right border to look like, the top border to look like, the bottom border, the left border. I can do all of that in here. So that is what it means to set up border individually. So then rounded corners. If I want the edges of the table to be round, I can just do that. Okay, for bottom and top, you can see that the corners are rounded right now. So then opacity and shadow, I really don't use this, but then it's just about how you want if you want to add shadow to the table, just do that. Then display delay, this is just all animation stuff. Then effects, this is all about animation too. If you want to add some animation to the table, I don't like using animations, so but if you like it, you should use it. But then if you are doing marketing, you don't want too many animations to be on your web page, because number one, it's going to make it look like a child's website. Then it's going to make it look childish. Then it is going to cause a lot of distraction. So that's why I don't use animation. If I want to design a cartoon website, I might be using all those animation. Alright, so that is basically about the table. And as usual, if you want to delete it, if you want to align it to the left, you can see align to the left, align to right, and then of course delete. This is exciting, right? Then over here we have what is called the line divider. So a line divider is just something like you just basically put. Let me just show you how I use it. I think I use a line divider on this page. A line divider is just basically something like this. You can see this line over here that you just basically use to divide some of your contents. You can also edit this one too as well. You can come over here and edit dashed, dotted. Like I think over here I use dashed. So you can do the same thing, dashed, dotted, spacing, all of that. Line color, you can change it, and that and that. Then I can also delete it. So now countdown. If you want to add a countdown to your page, something like this, then you can edit it. So you can go and just play with this, because I can't spend all time on each of these tools. Then a button element, I'm just spending time on the ones that are very important. So a button element, that is, we're talking about something like this. You adding a button to your web page, a good looking, like you can see this is my button, this is my nice button right here. How do you do that? It is simple. This is the button element. You just drag this to anywhere you want the button to be. At first, it's going to look like this, but as usual, you can edit any of these elements. So I will click on this, our wheel symbol again right here. Button text, that is the text you want to be on the button. So I'll just do this. Okay. Then the font, you can give it any font you like. You can give your button any font you like. So then bold, italics, underline, you can do all of that. Font size, if you want the font size to be big, you can see. Oh, that's things are happening over there. Then button style, flat and glossy. I usually like using the flat, but you can try the other one out. Normal state color. The normal state color means when a mouse has not been hovered on the button, how do you want the button to look like? So you can change the color of the button over here. Okay, you can change the text the text of the color of the text on the button. Like you can see, if I change the text of the you can see that the whole thing is changing over there. Then text, there is something called the shadow of the text too. So if you want any color, basically I just like to put, I don't like shadows behind my text, so I'll just basically put the same color. This is the code for this color. I will just put that same thing over here. Okay, so normal state color, then hover state colors, that is when, like here now, this is the normal state color of this button, is green, but when you hover your mouse over it, it changes to blue, and then the text too can change. You basically set that one over here. Then icon, if you want to add an icon to this button, button, let me show you what I mean by an icon. I think I have something like that too on this page again. All right, you can see this is my button, this big button at the end. You can see this icon over here. So these are various icons that you can add to your button, but just make sure that whichever icon you are adding is relevant to it. So like you can put that arrow there, it's going to make the button more obvious. So then rounded corner again, edit that one over here. There, target link, where do you want people to go when they click on the button? Okay, you put that one in over here. Do you want a pop-up? You select a pop-up and then you edit the pop-up over here. Then display effects, this is animation again. All right, so that is basically all about the button. Then at times when you are through, the button might look like this. Okay, it might just give some extra space. No wala, just drag this thing to the top. That's all. So that is all about the button. Then we can delete the button again and move on. All right, so now let's go ahead. Opt-in form. Okay, if you want to insert an opt-in form, then you basically take this and drag it to wherever you want the opt-in form to be. Voila. So but then you still need to edit it. I'm going to come back to this one later on when I'm discussing opt-in form use. So for now, let's just delete it and move on. Then 3 steps opt-in. You can go and you can read the manual on these 3 steps opt-in. I don't want to waste time on that. Then comment box. If you want to add a comment box to your website, maybe at the end, then you can basically drag this. You know, like this online is basically like a Facebook comment box, but then it needs editing. You have to actually edit it. There are some things you need to do on Facebook. I'm not going to discuss all of that right now, but you can see it. You're going to see it in the manual. It is well explained in the manual. For, when I'm saying the manual, I believe I also sent you the manual for the InstaBuilder. This is the manual now, for instance. The manual actually explains each part, like the comment part that I just talked about. You can see it now. Comments, page 79. Just go there and it is well explained. That is what I like about the manual with pictures. Everything is well explained, so that if you want more explanation on any of these areas, just go into the manual. Then social share, like this type of a thing, that is what that is for. Then columns, I believe we all know what a column is. So you just drag this, where you can see what we have here is actually a table, a section with with 2 columns. So if you want to easily get a column, so with a column it means you can put something on the left, then you can put something on the right. But then you can even still turn this column to like 3 columns. How do you do that? I'll just click on it, then come over here and click on plus. You can see it is now 3. If I want to make it 4, I'll click on plus again. It is now 4, so I can put something on each of these places. Like that, this type of a column table is what they used in here to create this feature benefit 1, feature benefit 2, feature benefit 3. And if you want to delete any of the columns again, you basically click on minus. You can see it is now 3. You click on minus, it is now 2. Okay, so that is what that one is for. What they have, tabs content. Let me see. I don't even know what that is. Okay, so at times if you want to create a website that has different links at the top that people can be clicking on, so that's what this is for. So as usual, you can edit it from here. I haven't used this one before, but if you want to use it, you can play around. You can play around with it. Then we have navigation. What is that one for again? I don't know. Okay, navigation. So like, I think it looks like the tab content, but in a different way. But I guess they still do the same thing. So you can read more about this one tool on inside the InstaBuilder manual. So I'm just, because we don't have all time to spend on this, today's date, of course, you know what that means. You want to insert today's date on, you can see the date over here. It is not showing very well. So that is what that one is for. So then questions. What is questions? Okay, if you want to insert certain questions as you are moving ahead, I think that's what that one is for too. So you can also edit it. You can edit any of these elements. That is why this wheel button is always at the end. When you click on it, it's going to show. So that is what you can use to do your editing. So then this one is if you want to implement an HTML code or a JavaScript code or a CSS into your website, but I won't talk about that because it is for people who know how to use those things. You won't need it for now. Then slides. If you want slides, this is actually for people who are designing more advanced looking websites. Like, you know, if I should drag this over here now. So if I want to insert slides into this website, I will just upload some images. So we'll have slide 1, slide 2, slide 3 that people can click on. Then the thing will just be sliding like that. That is what this one is all about. So if I click on add slide in here, I can add as many slides as possible and then title the slides and give them a destination URL that people will go to when they click on it. So that is what this is for. So now what I'm just going to advise you to do this because InstaBuilder has all these very amazing features, okay? And you might be tempted to want to just be putting all of them on your web pages. That will be a disaster. You only make do with only the things you need to create a simple page, because the simpler your website, the better converting it's going to be. If you have a site with all sort of jingles and bells, it's going to cause distraction for your visitors and you'll just click away. So space, if you want to add space between some elements, that is what this is for. So I can just drag this over here now to just create that space. That's the space element. It has no editing because it is basically for creating spaces. So I can delete it too. Then finally we have what is called the shortcode or placeholder. Don't worry about that one. It is for people who know how to use WordPress shortcodes. Then we also have this thing over here called combo elements. Now, to make your work easier, at times you might want to do some things. So InstaBuilder has already combined some of these elements that I just showed to you. They've combined some of them in case you want to use some of these things at some point on your website. For instance, over here we have text plus image. So let's say you want, let me just drag this in here. Like you can see this. This is an image. This is actually like a 2-column table with an image on the left hand side and text on the right hand side. So you can just edit any of these things and move on with your work. It is just to make your work easy. You can see that this is actually 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, and of course the big one that it is occupying everything. So I can delete it again. The same thing is for this. Then box plus video, product box, you know, all of these things. Delete. Okay, let me just delete everything. All right. So then order scarcity 1, order scarcity 2, fancy opt-in. I don't know what that means, but I guess it should be an opt-in box. Okay, you can see a fancy opt-in that you can basically edit and, you know, get things started very fast. You can see professional, well-designed something that you can use. Not all those primary 6 look like websites. All right, so these are all the elements and tools that you're going to find inside InstaBuilder, and with these things you can design you can put up different designs you want. So but before we leave, there are these two buttons at the end. Okay, let me see, what is this one for? Okay, in case you want to insert some graphics too, they already have some pre-graphics that you can make use of. You can see all these graphics over here that you can use. How do you use them? I haven't used any of these things before. Let me see. Drag and drop the graphic into the content area on the left. Okay, drag and drop. All right, you can see it is very simple. It is very easy to use. You just drag it and you drop it to wherever you want it to be. That's all. And they have all these buttons, credit cards, you know, all of these things, icons, arrows, buy now, cartoon, bullet, badges, all of these things, you know. Then you can also, this also the undo button. You can click on the undo button. You can see to undo your the last thing you did, your last action, to just undo it. Then this is the redo. No, it will redo the last undo that you did. Then we also have this button over here. This button is what we call the page settings. So if you click on it, it's going to give you this. This is actually where you edit the whole page from. Now you don't need to play around with all of these things. You won't need all of these things all the time, but the ones you're going to need basically is number one, page info and SEO. You click on this. What do you want to type in there? Well, the page title. The page title is something like this. If you come to this page, you can see this thing showing at the top. Natural diabetes therapy from B3 Boost. That is the page title. So this is where you input that one. If you don't change it, by default it will just be showing something like this, which you don't want for your website. Meta description, you may not need all of this. These things are for SEO. Meta keyword, these things are for SEO. You may not need them. So that is one. Then again, this one is also for SEO too. Page width. Page width talks about how you want your website to be, how wide you want the website to be. So just look at this thing we have here. If I should reduce this page width now, so let's say 695. Now, can you see what happened over here? You can see that this thing has been reduced. So that is what the page width is for. Or if I increase it again, you can see that it is now wide again. So that is the page width. So most of the time I prefer using page width of between 700 and 850. That is what I prefer using. I don't want it to be too slim, except for when I'm designing some very small opt-in pages. Now, oh sorry, like that mistake that I just made, I'll just click on undo. So I'm back. Now, as you are going on with your design, you want to be clicking on this button over here. This button over here is the save button. So you want to be saving everything you are doing. Okay. So, but then let me be true with this big settings of a thing. Then general typography. This is where you choose the general fonts of the page. The font size, the font size, the line height, space between paragraph, font color. This is just for the general fonts on the page. You can still you will still be able to edit fonts for each text later on, but then this is just for the general one. You may not even edit it. You can just leave it that way. Then background color. This is the background color for the whole page. Like over here, this is the background color of this page is this. So I can just come over here. If I want to change it, I can change the background color in here. Okay. On the background, you're going to see this showing up on the background. Then at times you might want to use a background image. You will just come over here again, and you would, just like the way we did for the table, you can come over here and upload your own image if you have a very big image for the page, or you can use some of these pre-made patterns over here. So, and then you choose background image size. These are different things you can do with InstaBuilder. Then if you want a video to be playing on the background of the page, this is where you do that too as well. YouTube URL, you put the video on YouTube, and then you basically link to it from here. So now, as you're going to see, this thing has so many features, so don't just confuse yourself by trying to use all of these features at once. Like for instance, I'm not even trying to use all of these things at once myself. I just use the basic ones that are useful for the kind of website that I want to create. Alright, so now that we know basic elements again, now that we know how to use these tools, let's talk about, so that is under learning about the InstaBuilder tools and features. So edit the template to your taste. Let's talk about this. So over here, this is a template that we put up, right? But then we might not want some of these things on our own website. So what do? Well, we edit it. What you need to understand is that for InstaBuilder, each of these things that you see are elements that can be edited or deleted. So I can come over here. If I don't like this, I can click on it and delete it. Are you sure you want to delete this element? Okay. So anytime you see this type of ... vertical line, it means there are actually two columns over here. It means I can put something on this column, I can put something on this column. So what I did with this our page over here is, you can see this need help thing. It is just me taking this text element and dragging it. Oh, sorry. It is me taking this text element and basically, oh, sorry, don't mind me. It is my mouse that is behaving. So I mistakenly clicked on the save button. So it is going to save. All right. So, but don't worry about that. Now, before we go ahead, let's quickly do something. Now, this page you are designing, there is a button here called the permalink. Now, if you click on this, you are going to see this. Okay. Now, this by default, if anybody should go to stepupdigest.com/Navy Sales, they are going to see this your page that you are designing. But of course, you want to give a proper URL to each of your web pages. So you just click on edit permalink, then you put in whatever. So over here I can just put sample page. Okay, stepupdigest.com/sample. Let me just say sample InstaBuilder page. It does not matter, just whatever name you want, whatever page you want to put the page you are designing on, you just type it over here. Okay, then close. All right, then save. So it's going to save, and then you can move on with your work. So I was telling you about how I drag this over here. So I can now come over here and double click and select this and basically type what I need here. Need help, ? Enter, call, something like this. So then of course I will have to change. I can put it in bold. If I want to change so that it can show very well, I can change the color. Okay, and I can do, okay, no, that's not the color, sorry, that is, let me just click on back. Need help. So I can just do this. This is the text color. Then I can put it in bold. All right. So if I put it in center, it will just be in the center of this column, of this small column over here. So you can see it now. So that is what we have. So at the same time, I can also click on this particular tool. There's actually a bar over here at the top, like you can see this highlighted right now, I can click on this and say I want to change the background color of that to whatever it is that I want. So there are various colors in here. I can just choose whichever color that I want. So just for the purpose of this example, let's say I want to choose this. Okay. Now don't do any type of color rioting the way I'm doing right now. I'm just doing this because this is just it. This is just for training. All right. So then I can also edit what is called the margin and padding. I already explained what it means by top margin and bottom margin, but then top padding and bottom padding is talking about the inner of that element, of that table-like element, the inner, the borders, from the, that's why we have top padding, bottom padding, left padding, right padding. That is the way the table is padded, the space in between the border and the contents of the table. So if I come over here now and I increase this top padding, for instance, you can see. So that is what we call top padding. So at times you might want to reduce it so that the space is just little. So you do all of that from here. Okay. Then I can also change this logo. If I want to make use of a logo, not important, but for like in this case where I have a logo over here, I'll just click on this stuff over here and do what? Well, like I said, you will always find this your small wheel button. Then we click on that. Then I will come to under here to here and upload the logo that I want to use. And of course, it is going to show up right there. So let's say I want to use, let me see if I have logo samples. Okay, let's say I want to use something like this now. I believe you can see it now. It is, the logo is now showing. That's it over there. So if I actually have a logo with this type of color, most preferably that's black. I'll probably ensure that this background too is black so that everything is going to align. So, and if I want people to go anywhere when they click on the logo, I can do that over here. These same things apply to all images. These same settings apply to all images. You can do all of these things from here. Then bottom margin, you can see that this particular image actually has bottom margin here, 20. That is why this space is here. So I can, no, the bottom margin is for outside of the table. That is why this space in here is there. So, all right, no, the bottom margin is for outside the image. This is not for the table. This is for the image. So if I should increase this, you can see now. Then if I should reduce it, so this whole thing is just all about playing with it and see what happens when you do it. When you move a particular element or a particular tool, see what happens. It will show you what that thing is meant for. That's actually how to know. I didn't even know most of these things when I started using this. But by the time you play with it, you're going to know how to use all of these things. So you click on save and let me see what else, because basically what I just explained to you right now is how you are going to be designing your site. Like over here, if you don't need any of this, you just delete it. If you need them but not in the right way you need it, you just edit it. That's how you are going to that's how you are going to design your site. Then down here at the bottom, I can double click on this and put in whatever I want to be here, and then I can edit the size. I can put in whatever size that I want here. If I don't like this font, I can change the font. Okay, so then when I'm through, I click outside of it and I save it. And then this I button over here is for previewing. So if I want to see what I'm doing is going to look like on a web page, and then I will click on preview. Now you can see this thing saying Navy Sales over here because I did not save the new title that I put in the other time. So okay, let me save it before I preview it. That's gonna make it. Okay, let me now preview it now. So you can see this logo right here. You can see all of these things that we are doing. So that's previewing. So but all of this, while doing all of this, the site or this web page is still not going to be online because you are yet to publish it. Okay, because you are yet to publish it. So have I published it mistakenly? No, I haven't. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's like I mistakenly clicked on the publish button. But then if I copy this link and then I open it and then it shows, that means I published it. But if it doesn't show, okay, I published it, because the reason why I knew I've already published it is because I couldn't find the publish button over here at the top. Because if you were following me, you will see that there was a publish button over here before. So when you are through with what you are designing, just click on the publish button. Then you can now view it by going to the URL that you have here. So that's the same URL you're going to be giving to anybody, or you're going to be using to hyperlink. Okay, talking about hyperlink, I didn't even mention that. Now, even when you've published it, it does not mean you can't make changes. You can still make changes to the page. So like, let's say I come over here. Let me just show you about the hyperlink thing. So let's say I want people to go somewhere. Let's say I have okay, let me just put click here. Let's say I have something that says click here over here, and I want people to be clicking on it. So I'll just highlight this. Okay, then I would use this tool. This is the insert or edit link tool. I will click on this, and I'll put the URL that I want people to go. I will start with http:// then I'll put in where I want them to go. If I want the link to open in a new window when they click on it, I will just choose this. If I want it to be on the same page, I will leave it at none. So I'll just click on OK. So right now that is now a link. Alright, then I will save it again, even though I have published, but then I can still save. So I'll save it. If I come over here now and refresh, now don't worry about all of this. All of these things is showing because I'm logged in into WordPress. Now you can see this link over here. So if anyone should click on this now, it's going to redirect them to google.com. So that's how you link your pages. You can link any pages you want to link from there. So somebody is asking me, how do we buy a domain name? Go and search on Google, please. I think that's where I started this whole training from. Go to Namecheap or Google Layer, any of these places, and tell them I want to buy a domain name. They'll show you how you can buy a domain name. All right. What else? Let me go into my manual, into my outline. So put in your content, edit your page URL and page title, save and publish your page. So that is basically the general how to do. But then let's talk about how you can create an opt-in page. Okay, so it is still the same thing. All pages are the same. So I'm just doing this so that, because people usually ask questions about how do I create an opt-in page and all of that. Well, with InstaBuilder it is very simple. So but to start with, you will need to actually have your opt-in form. The code for your opt-in form must be ready. So now let me go over here. How do we start again? Well, we start by going to new page. Then we have all of this. Then I'll just say squeeze pages. Squeeze pages are the same thing as the opt-in page. So these are all different layouts, very nice layouts. So which one should we use? Let's say. Okay, let's use this nice looking one over here. I'll just click on this, choose. This is how you design your web page, and it will look like somebody who is serious. Nice looking web pages. So the good thing about InstaBuilder is that this image on the background is not fixed. You can edit it. You can put in your own image. That is why I keep saying InstaBuilder is good. Alright, so let me just log into my Aweber account over here to just copy one code and use it for this illustration. So as usual, well, we come over here, we change our permalink. So over here we'll say, now this type of an opt-in page is what they call a two-step opt-in, because somebody will have to click on this button, then it will bring up a pop-up box, I think, and that's when they will now put in their email address. So over here I'll just click on, I'll just say sample opt-in, because we are using this for the sample opt-in. Close. Alright, we have that one already. So what should we change in here? Well, let's say we want to change this image. So we click on the image. No, you don't click on the image over here. What you do is you go to page settings, because that's where the image is. That's this type of an image that is occupying the whole page is going to be, you're going to change it from here, from background image. So I'll just come over here. You can see the image here, background image. So I think, let me see if these guys have some images that we can edit. Oh, close. Okay, let me click on remove. Okay, you click on remove first, then click on edit, click on action, click on pre-made pattern. So normally I would advise that you use your own image, so you can use your image. So but let me just say I want to use this. So this is one of their images that they have on there, so I can use that. You can see I now have a brand new image. So then I will, like I told you guys, I will change the page title. So you do that over here, you change the page title here. So if I want to change the page width too as well, you do that here, and all that and all that. So you can edit this. You can edit this. Like you can see over here that there is a space. There is too much space here. I can click on here. I can come over here to margin and padding, left padding. I can reduce this. So you can see that the image is now closed up. So you can do that. Let me see. Not delete. Okay. So I can edit any of these elements. Free report, whatever. I can edit this. 10 easy tricks. I can edit any of these. I can change the colors. You can do all of these things. Click the link below. You can do all of that. Then I can even click on this button. I can edit this too as well. Button text, button style, all of these. Target link type, edit pop-up. So over here, the way this type of a thing works is that when you click on this button, it's going to bring up a pop-up, I think. So I haven't used this before, but then let me just try it out. So for this purpose, let's see, I want to create, let me just get a code from here. Let me see. Okay, while this one is loading, let's just move on with what we are doing. So you can basically edit anything on this page. So you can edit this copyright whatever. You can also edit that. Now you can't edit this image again, because this is basically an image. If you don't like it, you would basically you have to use another image. Okay. Now this table, This table too on its own, you can edit this table too. This is the table, top margin, bottom margin, top padding, all of this. The background color, that's the background color of the table, just like you can see over here. You can edit it to whatever it is that you want. You can edit the background image. You can put in a background image if you don't want this normal background. You can edit the borders. Okay, so you can do all of that here. Okay, let me just go for this opt-in form. Publish. I will install my form. I'm going to copy this HTML version. That is what is good to use when you're using InstaBuilder. So I'll go back in here because that's where the opt-in is going to show. So I'll click on this. I'll come to target link. I'll come to edit pop-up. You can see here. So I will click on this. This is the opt-in form here, because when people click on this button, this is what's going to come up. So I'll just click on this button here. I will click on that tool, opt-in form HTML code. You can see it over here. I will just come to this space. You can see inside the HTML version of the opt-in form code that you can obtain from your autoresponder service. So I'll just paste the code that I got, and then I will click on process. Now you can see that this thing has changed. My opt-in form is now here. So that's how you do this. You can see it now here. So it means, let me close that and then let me click on save. Then let me click on preview. So it means when somebody clicks on this opt-in stuff is going to come up. Okay, so that is how you do that for this type of opt-in. But then let me show you, there's another option that does not require two-step like this. So let's talk about that type of opt-in. Let me see. Let me just exit this. Okay, now all these pages you are creating is going to be showing. You can see all the pages are showing right here. So new page, squeeze page. Okay, let's say we are using this. Let me just choose this. Let's say this is the one we want to use. Okay, let's not even use this. Let's use I'm looking for something simple. Okay, so if you look at, let me just scroll through this swipe file. Okay, let's say you want to do something like this, something simple as this. So I can just come over here. I can choose this. All right, I can choose something like this. So if I don't want all this logo or whatever, I'll just click on this and delete it. Okay, wait for it to finish loading. If it does not finish loading, you won't be able to edit. So while it's, let's just wait for, okay, now it is through with loading. So you click on that. I'll delete this. I don't want all that logo. I don't even want all of this. So like I said, you just click on everything you don't want, delete it. You can see that this thing is, using it is simple. You just play around with it a little bit, and before you know it, you will learn how to do it, how to use it very well. All right, so I now have this. Now what I want to do is I want to create something like this, right? So now okay, let me just say I'm going to have my, the first one is that this placeholder here is for a video. So I'll just delete this one because I don't want a video. I'll delete this. I will drag an image here. Now ensure that the image is actually here before you release. No, not like that. At times the image element usually, at times it might give you a little bit of problem trying to drag it in. Okay, no problem. If it is giving us all of this stuff, we'll just let me see. Let me delete this first. Let's edit this. So we just put in our headline here. Free report. How to import used fonts from China. Okay. So if you want to change the color, you can change the color. Alright. So let me look at this. Okay. So if you want to edit any of these things, you just do it over here. Now in here, the main reason why I even came here is because of this button. So over here now, if I want to put this same code, I'll just copy this, my opt-in code. This is my HTML opt-in code. I'll just copy it. I'll click on this, edit opt-in HTML code. I'll put it in here. As usual, I will just click on process. Now you can see this nice looking button, this nice looking opt-in form over here. Now the good thing about Instabuilder is that you can even still edit some of these features. Like for instance, now I can edit how I want the button to look like. So I can come over here and click on button code, button type, edit button. So if I click on edit button, it's going to bring up settings for the button. So button text, text showing on the button, I can edit that one over here. The font, I can change the font type, I can do all of that. I can change the button style. If I want a flat or glossy, I can do that. If I want normal state color, that is the color of the button when normal and when hovered upon, I can do both here. Icon, if I want to put an icon, just like I mentioned sometimes ago, I can do that over here. Before text or after text. Then rounded edges, I can do that over here. Then all of that. So then I can click on black. I can click on back. Then I can also edit the opt-in form fields. So I can come over here, form mode, vertical. That's what we have here. So what's horizontal? Oh no, I don't want that. Let's leave it as vertical. So field size. Well, we have normal, we have small. You can see that thing has reduced. We have big. Okay. We have this one and all of that. Field style. Style 1, style 2. You can see these things are changing. Style 3. These things are just designs, fancy designs. Field background color, all these white spaces. Field border color, the colors of the borders. Like if I should choose, you can see that it now has red borders over here. So then if you want to add other fields, you click on manage fields over here. So then if you want to integrate a webinar to it, I won't talk about this because I haven't used it. Facebook opt-in, I don't know how to do that, so I won't tell you about it. So but then now we have this over here. So let me see. So we can change this. I don't know why this image element is not dropping here. Okay, no problem. Let me see. Let me try and put in the white section first. Okay. Okay, let me see what I can put in. All right, so I can actually do it that way. So at times this thing is just all about just trying things out. So since the image is not entering in here directly, all I just did there was to put in a section first and then put in the image on the section. So what I can now do is that I can basically change the color of this section to the color over here so that everything would rhyme. But over here, let me just say I even want the whole page to be, everything to be white, or to be like that. I'll just change that one to over here. Background color. So let's say I want something like this. All right. So this, I think this should be an image over here. This shadow. If I don't want it, I'll just delete it. So then I can change this because the background has changed. I can change this to something like red. Okay. Then if I want it to be in bold, okay. Then if I want to break it, I'll just press shift and enter, just like that. If I want it to look like this, so then I'll just change I'll come here and copy that background color, this one. I'll just copy this code. Then I will come to this here and then background color again, paste the code here so that everything will look, you can see now that it has changed. So whichever image I want to put here now, I will now click over here and then go to where the image is. If I have it online, good. If I don't have it online, I will just go and upload it. So I can come here and pick up any image. Okay. All right. So let's say that's what I want to use. That's the picture of my niece. So let's say that's what I want to use here there. Then I can image style. I can style it. I think I've actually talked about all of these things before, so let me not repeat them again. So there we have this image. I can actually drag the image. If it is too big, I can drag it. I can change the size. So now we now have our opt-in page. Okay, so let's can say free report how to make your baby smile. Okay, because this baby is smiling, or this toddler, whatever. So okay, and when you are through, you click on save, and after clicking on save, you click on publish, and it's going to publish to okay, we haven't edited this. Make sure you always do this. So let's just type this. Let's just make this baby opt-in. Okay, so then let's change this stuff over here. How to make your baby smile. All right, so then save, then publish. All right, so if we go to this link now, you can be sure that let me even open it in a new browser so that there won't be all those WordPress in there. So let me open it over here. So you can see that's our opt-in page, nice and clear right there. So you can now see that Instabuilder is actually very easy to use. You can use it to do all sorts of things. So whatever it is you want to do, you just basically edit it. You just pick any template. I can actually use any template to do anything. You just edit the template and then you move ahead. And as time goes on, by the time you begin to get how to use it very well, you can create your own design from scratch without even using any of their templates. So I can see I have some questions over here. I will just answer the questions. So somebody says, can I use one InstaBuilder key on different websites? The good thing about the key we give to you is that you can use it on more than one website. That's the good thing about it. So, but there are some keys you will buy on their page that is just for only one website. But for this one, I think you can use it on more than one website. So, somebody says, can we use this software for our pre-sale page alone? You can use this software to design any type of website. Okay, this plugin, this InstaBuilder plugin, is for designing any type of website you want to design. So I'm basically using it for opt-in pages and all of these things, because these are the things we are working with. But you can use it to design any type of website that you want to design. It's all about the arrangement. It's all about how you arrange it. So okay, the webinar is being recorded. You're going to have access to the recording. So somebody says, how do I use Instagram to design lead magnet page? A lead magnet page is an opt-in page, just like the one I just showed you right now. So that is how you design it. So you just basically use to design any page you want to design, and if you want to redirect people to the page, you basically link the page you want them to go to. You basically link the page, or if it's an opt-in page, then you must have imputed the page you want people to go to when you were creating. Like over here now, for this particular page that I'm using for this example purposes, over here in Aweber, I have already said when people opt in, this is the page I want them to go to. So that is how you do it, depending on the autoresponder you are using. Okay, so that's how you go about using it. So the outline I use is just for the purpose of ensuring that I don't miss any of the steps that I'm putting you through. It does not mean this should be the step-by-step stuff that you are going to be using. I'm only using this just to ensure that I don't miss any of the steps that I'm trying to train you on how to do. Okay, so just go ahead and play with it. You're going to see how simple it is to use. As a matter of fact, there are even some of us on this group who have been able to use the manual alone to put up their web pages. So, but with this training now, I believe you guys should be able to put up your opt-in pages, your sales pages, your thank you pages, your article pages, because you can use this thing too for articles. Like, I think, let me see, I think, okay, there is this article that I have over here. This was created with InstaBuilder. Okay, this article page you are looking at was created with InstaBuilder. So just something simple. You can do all of these things with InstaBuilder. So just start with a template. Start with a template. Change your permalink. Okay, change your permalink. Change your page settings. Edit the template the way you want the template to look like. Then put in your content. Then put in your images and all of that. If it's an opt-in page, put in your opt-in code. Edit the form. Let the form look nice. Let it look the way you want it to look like. Edit the footer, the settings, the copyright information over here. Edit it, and when you are through, view it to see that it is looking very well, and then publish it. And if you have any other changes later on, you can still come over here and change and edit it, and then when you're through, you can still click on save, and it's going to save. Okay, so there are some other things over here. Page settings is still page settings. Then there are all of these things: pop-up settings, bottom slider, exit splash. I don't use all of these things, but you can play around with them. I believe information about each of these elements are inside the InstaBuilder manual, in case, like over here, like in case you want to use any of these things. But my advice to you would be, make use, just for now, just make use of the elements, the basic elements that will help you to create your website. Shike now, and later on you can now begin to, like, if you want to now learn how to create more type of very sophisticated web pages, then you can now improve on your skills. And I haven't done this before, but I believe you, if you even go to Google and actually search for InstaBuilder video tutorials, I think you should be able to see tutorials. Okay, you can see how to add a video background, InstaBuilder. These are tutorials online now. I haven't done this before because I don't even need to watch any video tutorial. These things are basically very, very simple, very easy to use. Once you know how to use Microsoft Word, you will be able to do InstaBuilder very well without having to watch all sorts of video tutorials. Alright people, so that will be the end of this webinar. So if you have any other question or any other issue that you are having, all you have to do is just refer to the InstaBuilder manual. Or if you don't want to read the manual, then you can go to Google just like I did, and you can search for InstaBuilder video tutorials, and I believe you will see a lot of tutorials that is going to be of help to you. So that will be the end of this training tonight. I believe I've been able to teach you the basic things you need to know about how you can use InstaBuilder. So the recorded version of this webinar is going to be sent to your email box by tomorrow. And thanks for attending this webinar, and good night.